everyone, it's Alice here, and I'm live with Ben Malol, our social media marketing specialist here at Pitch Investors Live. And we're actually here at the residence of Ben Malol and some other Pitch team members. So I'll have Ben Malol introduce himself.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me, first of all, Alice. So, as you know, my name is Ben, and I'm a social reach architect, essentially, social media marketing specialist. And my position is Pitch is to take responsibility on the whole marketing aspect through cold traffic, through funnels, through social media especially, and basically bring in clients and people that actually are interested in the project and blockchain and in the startup community as a whole as well. And what I do is I basically take these people from cold traffic, I educate them on Pitch through specific channels, through education pages, through emails, and then potentially to make them either join our platform or to invest in our platform or to basically be part of the community. So that's what I do in essence.
That's pretty awesome. And so what are some of the strategies that you use that you've learned over time as a social media influencer and strategist? What are some of the tips you can give us on strategy for social media at Pitch?
So the thing about Pitch and the thing about social media is due to the fact that it's based on the blockchain, based on cryptocurrency, that raises a lot of issues and problems with social media. Not because it's a bad thing, but because there is so much shady and malicious businesses out there in the startup crypto community. Because of this growing trend, a lot of people are actually taking advantage of this. You probably know that they're actually creating these scam tokens or scam businesses to basically rip off people to basically buy tokens, and then they just run off with the money. And unfortunately, that's the case with every new trend in the world, with every new big thing that's happening in the world. There's a lot of people that take advantage of it in a bad way. And that's why sometimes it raises a red flag for a lot of social media marketing channels to actually let us, a legitimate business, to actually advertise, because they're afraid that we're actually one of those, right? And that raises a lot of red flags, and that puts a bottleneck in the way that we advertise. But unfortunately, and fortunately for us, due to the fact that we're not only a blockchain cryptocurrency company, we serve startups and businesses, and we actually have a working application and a working business, that we have to find different ways to actually advertise our service. So one way is to basically push people through the app. Instead of just like pushing people to buy a token, we push them to the app.
So to sign up, so basically target the ads that drives the traffic to the sign-up page at
pretty much a sign-up page, and to educate them on the platform rather than like making them buy tokens for the sake of buying tokens. Social media channels and like Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, whatever, they have a problem with advertisers and businesses that just push traffic for the sake of buying a token, because it seems shady for them. And I don't like we can't argue with that, because at the end of the day it is weird to push people and say like, oh, buy our token so eventually this app can work. But what differentiates us from a lot of these token and cryptocurrencies is that we actually have a working platform behind us.
Exactly.
And due to that, the way that we're driving traffic and the way that our funnels and businesses are built is to show people what we are, who we are, and for them to potentially buy tokens later on. But we don't sell tokens for the sake of selling tokens. We sell for the sake of using it on the app. That's why it differentiates it. And to answer your previous question about like the hardships and how we work, is that we actually advertise the app as a whole. And that's what we want to do, because we want to build the brand later on. We don't really care about only like, oh, let's make some money from the tokens. We actually want to revolutionize the world and actually push people to understand the service and to use the app.
That's interesting. And so like with recent Facebook ban on some of the activities in this industry, how do you bypass some of the hurdles of like even creating the ads, generating traffic, and getting people really engaged in our platform?
Right. So it's a good question, and I kind of touched up on a bit on your previous question, but basically, as long as we do not push traffic and have ads on like, oh, look at our ICO, look at our token, then we're fine. That's what Facebook and social media channels have a problem with. But if we just say looking for exposure for your business, want to get in front of an investor, have a startup, check out Pitch Investors Live. You know, we're not talking about cryptocurrency, we're not talking about blockchain. What happens on the back end after they sign up, that's not related to Facebook. If we say that like we're pushing people to basically get like exposure, like to meet with an investor, and then we send them emails, and eventually we tell them to be on this platform, you have to buy our tokens, then that's fine. Because you're buying the tokens for the sake of being on the app, and not buying the tokens for the sake of buying the tokens to make money in the future, essentially. You understand? And so Facebook doesn't have a problem with that if we say that like, hey, we're basically advertising this app. Okay,
exactly.
we want people to use the app. We don't care about the blockchain aspect. You know, like from Facebook side. You know, we just want
Exactly.
we were just advertising this app, and then we're not different than any other business. So that's how we bypass that.
And then tell us, how did you even learn about pitch?
It's a,
Like,
it's a long story,
did
but
somebody come up to
yeah.
you, or you saw saw someone talking about it? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Right. Yeah. So, Jonathan Foltz, the founder, is actually a good friend of mine, and again, I can go on. I can talk about this for hours, but in a nutshell, me and Jonathan met at a conference. I was actually speaking at a conference in Los Angeles, and that's how we met.
Awesome.
And we had a really good connection. He was bringing stuff about the blockchain, about the future of artificial intelligence, and I am very aware of that space as well, very knowledgeable about that space. So we had a lot of interesting topics, and we were talking a lot since then. Met up a few more times. I got invited to speak at his event as well in the Marketers Mansion Mastermind.
Where we met.
Yeah, where we met as well, in the Marketers Mansion Mastermind, and from there on he just offered me to be the social reach architect in the company. But it basically started off really in a conference where we networked and met. And that's actually a tip that I would give anybody in business.
Right.
If there's something that I can put 99% of my success on, is the networking aspect. That everything that I do today is due to partnerships that I've created in the past, from going to conferences, from being social, from meeting.
And you talk a lot about that on Facebook.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
And one of those reasons I'm on pitch is because of the networking aspect. You know, if I didn't go to this conference in LA, or if I didn't speak at this conference in LA, I would have never met Jonathan, which will eventually conclude in the fact that I would have never been a part of pitch.
So if we talk about, and thanks for sharing that, if we talk about the importance of networking, and for those entrepreneurs that don't have that access, for example, to come to the United States or to Silicon Valley, and they can't really speak at conferences due to financial or political restrictions, how do you find that pitch is one of the solutions for entrepreneurs and investors to connect, because there is still that it feels very personal since it's a video,
right?
And
exactly.
so is that sort of the future of networking for those entrepreneurs, investors that have the limitations?
Right. So we're now in 2018, and
I thought we're in 2019.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Almost.
Darn it.
Yeah. So soon we're reaching the singularity, and then we're not gonna die ever again. But that's the conversation for a different interview. But yeah. So because due to the advancement of technology and social media and everything, networking, getting investments, creating a company is much more easier. Like 10 years ago, this would be impossible.
This is when you came to the States, right?
I was actually born in the States. I grew up in the States for 10 years, but then I moved to Israel, and then I came back to the States around like 18, 19, something like that, like 4 years ago. So to answer your question, due to this advancement in technology and how we're all connected in a way, through the internet, through apps, what actually happens is that we have these possibilities and opportunities to create amazing platforms. Pitch is one of them, Facebook is one of them, any social media marketing platform is one of them, and Pitch is, at the end of the day, it's another social media marketing channel. It's a way for investors to connect with entrepreneurs and startups and token owners to connect with investors, basically. So that gives them the possibility of, doesn't matter if you're in the Middle East, if you're in Europe, if you're in South America, if you don't go to conferences, if you have no money, you can pull up your smartphone, download the app, and boom, you're suddenly in front of an investor that is potentially worth hundreds of millions. You can never know. That was never possible. Like, you can literally open a company so that you need an idea, you open up the app, you get on the app, and then suddenly you have this pool of investors that potentially will invest in your idea. That was never possible years ago, and thankfully we have that opportunity and many more today.
That's amazing. So we had the internet, and then another layer we have the blockchain, and we'll see what kind of system we will be able to build other businesses on, and thanks to Ethereum, and that's just the beginning. So we'll have more adoption in the next 3 to 5 years.
Right.
So just get started by downloading the app, and you can always reach out to Ben. Where do we find you?
You just Google my name, Ben Malol. You'll probably find me, like if it's on Facebook or Google or YouTube, just Ben Malol, and I'll on my
info at Ben Malol.
I have enough information
on the website.
Online. Yeah.
Thanks a lot from Miami.